We're back in the greenhouse pit, and today we are working on our ICF forms, getting them ready to build up. So Brian's laid the outer track. We talked about that in the last video. We're working on the inner track next, and also drilling holes for rebar, which Catherine's going to be doing.
Right. So we've got 6 foot tall rebars that we're going to put in here, so that it comes all the way up. So a lot of times you'll put in just a short piece and then tie to that, but our rebar is only 6 feet tall. Our walls are only 6 feet, so we'll just put that right in right away at 6 foot. So
yeah, we're going to have really tall foundation walls, 6 feet tall. So we got a lot of building up to do. So we're having getting our track secured so we can build our forms nice and secure.
Yep. So we have 60 holes to drill approximately. So
yeah, Brian's measuring those out right now. Yep. Catherine's going around drilling those. We're clearing out the all the dust that's coming in. And so after we get all the holes drilled and get our rebar set, then we'll do the inner track for the foundation wall.
Right.
It's going to be a fun day.
Yeah, fun day.
Look, we're in jail.
Let us out.
So this is what it's going to look like with the rebar. But for people that aren't concrete experts, or people that are concrete experts, what did we do wrong? Anyway.
What did we do wrong?
No, we're not going to leave it like this. Okay, so what's the next? What would be the next step?
To pour in the anchoring cement and then put the rebar in.
So we have to mix that up.
Yeah.
And then what would we use to put it in there? Just like a cake icing thing?
No, just dump it in.
You can just dump it in that small hole? Okay. Yep. You don't need a funnel or anything?
No. No funnel required.
No funnel required, guys. We're just going to dump it right in there. So yeah, 6 foot rebar way above my head. So going all the way around now, all the way around the foundation, anchoring that in. Are we going to do that first, or are we going to do the inner track first?
We can anchor it.
Okay.
And then do the inner track. So,
yeah. Dirty work, guys. This is some dirty work.
That way it's going, setting up. Okay. Yeah, there's plenty of room to do the track afterwards, so.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're getting there.
Yeah.
A lot of holes to drill. We drilled them out good.
Oh, he's just going to eyeball it.
Just eyeball it.
Whoa, look at this skill level. Skill level 10.
That was way too much.
Uh-oh. Well, that's okay. It overflows.
Twist it as you go in. Okay. What do you think? It's too thin now.
This is what it looks like with all the rebar. It's like you're in jail. Right, laying out the inner track. It's cut a little bit shorter, obviously, because of the angle. Right. So it's quite a little bit shorter, and also some pieces to fabricate together, just because we're not wasting.
Right. So, but there's a spacer blocks. So I have to have 4 spacer blocks for these pieces that are 2 pieces.
Okay.
Because I have to have them on either end. It works pretty good.
To keep it in place while you're
right. So then
drilling.
I'll drill.
Yeah.
And then we'll start the styrofoam.
Yep. All right, guys, we made it to the step of the quad lock. Now, quad lock was our very first video on our channel, so we talked about it already. This is the insulated concrete forms that we're using for the foundation.
Yeah, it's got a R22 insulated value. So you can see it's 2 1/4 inches thick. Each section there's inside and outside. So that'll help us a lot with the geothermal system we're putting in, as far as keeping the outside cold outside, besides storing the heat in the ground, getting heat from out or cool from the ground. So it'll make a big difference, I think.
These go together kind of like train tracks. You saw the tracks that we put down earlier. So they go together on the 2 tracks, and then there's some plastic ties that go in between them. So we're getting ready to do first layer, which is the toughest, because
we have to make sure it's level, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm not that great at doing concrete, so I know there's imperfections, there's some waviness to it, so that's going to take a bit to get that all squared away and get the angles all figured out, because you're going to overlap them, right? Like you do Legos, right? You're going to have 2 that butt up like this, but then you're going to have a piece that straddles the joint, right? That you want your maximum amount of strength. So.
And then I know a couple videos ago we showed you about a jig that Brian made for cutting, because of the shape of our greenhouse, there's a 12-degree angle
Right.
on the ends of each section. If we were cutting by hand, we'd probably use the jig, but because we're only dealing with one thickness at a time, manufacturer suggestions, we can actually use a miter saw.
Yeah, because we have a sliding miter saw, so we can do that. And I've got it set up at 12 now.
Should be a lot faster with the miter saw, just zoom, zoom, you know, making our cuts. But we got the jig just in case.
Yeah, just in case.
Brian just wanted to build a jig.
Yeah, I hadn't thought that far ahead, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, once we get that first layer figured out, then we should be good to go.
Okay.
Now, all the forms are marked. They've got a line down here, so if you need to cut it, you just cut on the line.
Okay, what do we do first?
Put our laser in here and see if we can find the high spot, I think.
Okay.
So.
Okay, leveling time.
Yep.
Well, it looks like you figured out what's the lowest point or the highest point.
So I figured the lowest. I can always trim the bottom of the
Oh yeah.
styrofoam. I thought about that. So we'll get that as close to level as possible. Then we can, when we do the second row, we can always shim up a little bit, I believe. So, because we could shim it, foam it.
Okay.
It wouldn't be more than a 1/16 of an inch. So I think we're pretty close.
All right, well, let's demo it. Let's see. How does this go in there?
Yeah.
Let's get it going.
Trim the angle. You have to cut right through the middle of a block. Because I have a bracket I have to put on here.
Okay.
So you have to cut through that, right through the middle, then you cut off the nubbin.
Okay.
And then you put the angle bracket on. Provide some strength to the corners.
Okay.
So we use these on the house. So I'll go like that.
Okay.
But that's why we're cutting through the middle here.
I see.
And then cutting the nub off. You put the concrete in, it's going to want to push out.
Right.
Okay. You don't need these brackets on the inside because you've got two corners that are compressing against each other. So you're pushing in with everything's being compressed tighter on the inside. So we'll still have reinforcement like on the inside, but we don't need one of these brackets. It's our 12-degree.
Okay. Should we just cut a bunch of those because we have so many to do? Just do them all in a row?
No, because there's going to be some that are different.
Okay.
These are 4 feet long, but we have 6'10"1/4", and then whatever the inner dimension is.
So yeah, because our sections are, well, they change, right? So we have to cut little pieces.
Right, so there'll have to be a piece in there. So now I need to cut that one.
So the reason why there's a gap right there is because you have to end this piece. You have to end this piece on a circle.
Right, so because you'll start another circle there.
Right. So if you had butted up against that, you don't land with a circle there.
Right.
Okay. Well, we'll get to use a lot of scrap then.
Yes, and using up the scrap is important because we can return any full portions we don't need.
Okay.
Pretty bang on.
It'll just be the bottom rows that get trimming to keep everything level, and then as soon as that bottom row is all flush, then we'll we won't have to worry about trimming bottoms anymore.
Yeah, I need to take more off.
Oh, looking like we got almost that first row done. Hey, let's check in with Brian. Okay, what's the verdict?
The verdict is I'm gonna change up my leveling idea a little bit because I'm getting over here and I'm like way off. So I'm gonna shim the laser up to the spot over there, and then I'm gonna come out at night when I can see the light, and then I'll see where then I'm gonna work my way around. So everything's cut. Well, a lot of the stuff is cut already, as you can see, but it's not leveled.
Okay.
So I'll use the laser to determine how much I need to trim off.
So yeah, this is the hardest part of the build, I think.
Because using this stupid thing is a pain in the ass.
Oh, the
Just holding the sensor on the thing.
Okay.
So if I could just see a green light all the way around,
Okay.
that'd be pretty nice.
Hard to do it in the middle of the daytime when you can't see the laser
Yeah, I know
light.
what those stupid green glasses are supposed to do. They block out the green light, it seems like.
So what you're encountering is, even though you're trimming and you're shimming.
Yeah, as I'm getting over here, I knew I was high over here, but it's way higher than it should be.
Okay.
It's reading way higher, so. Because I'm good, like I'll level all the way around to there, but then as I get here, I put the laser on it, and I'm like an inch off. Like, this is not possible.
This is the test of patience, isn't it?
Yes.
A lot of...
Got to get that bottom right, otherwise it's all messed up.
Yeah. So anyhow, that's where we're at, getting that bottom layer just so that way we can just go on up. But
yeah, we got 5 more rows to do after this one, and it'll be a piece of cake.
probably be able to do it in one afternoon. So
no. There ain't no one afternoon doing nothing.
okay, fine.